somebody had told me that this Iran war will affect condoms, I would not have believed it. Because how am I even saying this sentence? How is this even a thing? Like, how does that make sense? Because according to City News, they said the world's top condom maker is looking to increase their prices from 20 to 30% due to Iran war. Please, I want to know the correlation. I genuinely want to know. What is the correlation between condoms and the Iran war? Is it due to production or manufacturing or transportation, or they are using the oil to make the condom? I don't understand. I don't understand. And you already know what boys are saying. Boys are going crazy in the comments. But genuinely, I want to give you guys more information about it before we enter the comments. So according to the article, safe sex could get more expensive if the Iran war continues to disrupt global supply chains. According to a new interview with the CEO of the world's largest condom manufacturer, Carex CEO Golmia Kiat, that's the person's name, told Reuters on Tuesday that the company may be forced to raise prices at least 20 to 30%, depending on how long the disruption lasts. Global supply chains have been impacted by the war since the end of February and the chokehold on the Strait of Hormuz, cutting off some of the materials used in condom production. Okay, so now I understand the correlation. This Strait of Hormuz, I think that is where most people transport their goods through. And due to the Iran war, they have been closing it, opening it, closing it, opening it, depending on the situation at hand. So of course, that's going to affect, distribution, transportation, and things of that nature. Now, he says the situation is definitely very fragile. Prices are expensive, the CEO told Reuters. We have no choice but to transfer the cost right now to the customers. Based in Malaysia, Carex produces condoms, personal lubricants, gloves, medical catheters, and probe covers. The company manufactures male latex condoms, including One, Trastex, Carex, and Passante. These are the brands. And it can produce over 5 billion condoms annually. So every single year, over 5 billion condoms. Carex also exports to more than 130 countries, according to its website. Now, the CEO also told Reuters that along with higher costs for manufacturing and packaging condoms, there are delays in shipping, saying that they've seen a lot more condoms actually sitting on vessels that have not arrived at their destination but are highly required. Another important thing to note is that they said as gas prices have surged since the Iran war, oil and gas have gotten the bulk of the attention. Economists fear that rising prices could soon lead to a pullback in consumer spending, and oil shortages could stimulate production. That's particularly true in Asia, which relies heavily on Middle Eastern oil for fuel. So now our question has been answered, okay? It's due to transportation, fuel, the Strait of Hormuz. These are all things that are directly linked to the Iran war. And they are saying that this thing has been happening since February. So right now it's getting too much to the point where they have to put the cost directly on the consumers. Because there's nothing else they can do. And since this thing was posted on X, the comments have just been flooding in. Okay, the first comment will be, hey, because I'm sure like me, he couldn't even believe it. Because what do you mean? It even sounds like an excuse that people are just looking for an excuse to raise the prices. Because what do you mean you're coming to raise price of condom because of Iran war? By reading the article now, I feel like we understand. Someone said HIV virus right now. Like, you guys, can we please take this seriously? This is not the time to be making jokes. Someone said the tin and casa boys no one wear. How much more you increase the prices? That's true, because personally I don't even know how much condoms cost. I'm assuming they don't really cost that much, but they might. Maybe the condoms cost between 20 cedis to 50 cedis, or even 100 cedis. If there's a 20% to 30% increment, it could go as high as 150 cedis for whatever type of condom you are trying to buy. Already they think they don't want to wear. They don't want to wear. Already it's like they have to think of so many things before they wear condoms. Now you want to increase price. What will we motivate them to wear now? They said they are going to be celibate, and I know they're not going to be celibate. So that means that we might see an increase in STDs or STIs, which is something we are all trying to prevent or avoid. Because clearly, on top of all the issues we are dealing with, we don't need a spike in STIs to add to our issues. And this is a very silly comment. Okay? More babies for the World War III then. More babies for the World War III then. Can't afford babies. Maybe I'm bad and I'm actually soldier age now. I know a World War III me. It's just crazy. But I think the person is referencing the fact that if there are less condoms, obviously there'll be more pregnancies, which will lead to more foot soldiers for the World War III. That is not what we want. That is not what we want, please. Another commenter says, war and condom there, what's the relationship? Or the rubber is being produced in Iran. I think that is, like I said before, that's the main confusion. If you see that kind of headline, how would you even make sense of it? But guys, they are saying that the production cost on top of, transportation, the Strait of Hormuz. If you've done enough research about the war, I'm sure you've heard Strait of Hormuz multiple times. And that's the main channel that most of these big companies, they've been transporting their things through. And according to the CEO, the things are in containers. They can't even ship it. They can't ship it because the place they're going to pass, it has been closed. It's like if you are trying to get home and then they blocked all the roads. You have to now maneuver, and it costs more fuel. You see, it's like, it makes sense if you think about it logically. It makes sense. But most people are just asking about if, like, what's the relationship between condom and Iran. Obviously, condom raw materials, they come from Iran. And please, you should go and do your research. Obviously, kwasiafo nooks for orgasm who bang. Hey, how can you come and leave such a comment? I think the best thing right now is that maybe we should seek for other alternatives. You can abstain. It's not a crime. If you don't want to pay 150 cedis for a condom, mind your business. Especially if you know that, number one, you have an STI and STD. This is mostly for people who, to prevent them for transferring it, transmuting it to other people. If you can't buy the condom, mind your business, stay in your house. It's not by force to be having sex. Sex is not a requirement for life. Don't have sex, or find other alternatives, or buy the condom. Also, they are not saying that they've increased it right now. They say they are looking to increase it. So our prayer right now should be that this war will end as soon as possible, so that people can start transporting their things freely, so that costs can stay where it is, prices can stay where they are. There's genuinely too much going on in this world. Already, first, we have to worry about the war. Now, we have to worry about prices being increased because of the war. Now, our people that are in South Africa too, they are getting lynched. They are not safe. I'm sure they can't even sleep at night because these South Africans are on their neck. They are on their necks, breaking them down, beating them up, chasing them onto the streets like some thieves, some hooligans, respectable members of society. As if they've committed crimes. There's so much going on in this world. On top of that, there's so much heat. The sun wants to buy us. Like, at this point, what are we meant to do? At this point, there's too much going on. What can we do? Should we be praying? Let me know. You guys suggest things we can be doing as a country to help the situation. Should we be praying? Should we be fasting? What should we do? Please comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been What's the Go On right here at Your Charlie Studios with me, Karen Jacqueline, your favorite host.